Um, Good afternoon, classmates and tutor. I'm going to talk about my portfolio and how I do project myself. First of all, I'm going to do a little bit of introduction. My name is Alejandra Castillo Beltran, and my vision is to bring dreams through material design activities, pedagogical and educational assignments to my classmates, and my vision to collect knowledge and be available to transmit it to the students. My vision is to take the transition of knowledge, fun, and creative in a pedagogical and educational path. Mm, What's my teaching philosophy? First, respect a student's level and then create enjoyable classes. First of all, I believe it is important to respect the students' levels in order to and um, create in them motivation to improve their skills in the English language by respecting their thoughts about it. And then creating durable classes, which means through didactic materials and using technology um, resources. Um, it's to improve the classes through images, textbooks, audios, so I could compile all these resources in one class to let the student know what's the actual situation in their context and make like a little bit fun. The class is not all about learning; it's also about to enjoy. I'm gonna then talk about my previous goals. First, I'm gonna talk about the strengths and then the weakness about my teacher in the courses in the English course. First, the pedagogy of the classes was fun and educational. Most of the time, we improve our skills not because the traditional way of teaching, like a structural way, it was also because while we were interacting with another people, which were our classmates or even the teacher, we realized the mistakes we have, and so the next time we were able to fix them all by global team. Then talking about the weaknesses, I believe homework was not important. It's important now to learn language just because it was the practical all the time, and there were very few times when the teacher didn't leave any homework, even it was only to review what we learned. So I believe to keep a feedback in the students through the homework is important to believe how useful are going to be your classes and how useful is going to be your methodology in the learning process of the student, to keep in mind what to change or um, what to keep doing. Teaching skills and methods. First of all, I'm going to talk about the communication, management, use of technological resources, assignments and assessments, and engagement and motivation. So I believe those are like the main focus methods to keep a classroom um, focus on the learning and teaching process between teachers and students. So first, communication is all about to respect the other thoughts, to value what's the other opinion, and also to value when to learn and when to teach. Even if it's about teachers, to learn how your student is improving the skills in your class, and also between the students how they work together as a teamwork, because eventually it's a community between them. And also for the students, maybe for a high level student, cool, how can he communicate their thoughts, I mean his or their thoughts, to the um, lower level uh, language student, and maybe teach him to improve their skills maybe sometimes it's more comfortable to see and to learn from a classmate than from a teacher. Talking about the classroom management, it is important to keep in mind that it is not easy to manage more than 50, 20 students in a class. That's why the teacher needs to be prepared to manage the educational pedagogical way to a big group of students. Some resources about this classroom management could be about the group activities, where a student can make some groups, 5 groups, and then start working between them to do a group activity, and everybody could like show up their skills and improve some others they will need to. Um, Use of technology resources. I believe during the learning process, it is important to make a class dynamic for the students to don't get bored. Eventually, the students will have always the need to be focused on something, and I believe their technology resources are very essential for these days now. When we, as students, we're all the time searching online and being in front of the computer, from the phone. So I believe that's part of our lives already. So it is now the time to us as a teachers start requirement for, I don't know, PowerPoint presentation with catchy images, or make a online game. uh, all these kinds of strategies makes more comfortable and more enjoyable the classes. Assignments and assessments. I believe it is important to keep in mind that us as a teacher, we need to deep more about our feedback into the classes. As I said before, it is important for us to evaluate how worth it and how is working our teaching methods, and how it is impacting in our students' process. So the assignments and the assessments makes that a little bit easier to evaluate our students, how they compiled their knowledge through an evaluation. Engagement and motivation. We all know to study anything, could be a language, could be a career, it needs motivation, and we are the teachers who conducts the path of motivation from the students. So I believe it is really necessary peeled or necessarily stick in our tables to believe that motivation is something you need to keep forcing, and keep not forcing, you need to keep uh, updating every single class and see how motivated is your student to come to class. And if it's less than you think, make some methodologies that are engaged with the students' needs. Now we're going to talk about our proposal motivation. This is all about group hall and community language education, with all the activities that we could make our focus on the group activities. We all know that in a classroom could be a lot of different language levels between our students, so it is important to keep in mind that those higher levels could also be part of our tool to teach the less level students. So this is about group activities. Then we have another methodology and intervention to do. It's about the feedback from the teachers, and for the teachers to recognize, as I said before, how useful is the methodology that is using and putting into account in the classes, and how the students eventually are acting from the point to use the methodology. So keep in mind that the teachers has to go deeper in the investigation and effort to compile the students' necessities, needs in general. Then we have another proposal of intervention, and is it gonna be about the motivation or how to keep the students' motivation in a way to in a way to for the students to keep promoting their skills. So one of the good resources about this motivation is to create a class environment that could be same or similar to their environment, so they feel comfortable in the class and they feel motivated to come in. um, this is all that I need to say. Thank you so much. That's my video.